Hello, welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I would like to show you 3 very special pipes, which I recently acquired from a very good friend of mine. These pipes were sent to me because this particular friend, his name is Peter Straub, is no longer able to use them. And that is a tragedy. That is really too bad. But it was amazingly generous for him to send these to me. He's having some health issues and he just can't enjoy the pipe smoking hobby anymore. And he knew that I would give these pipes a new home. And I really wanted to show them to you to sort of just celebrate them because they are amazing. And also just as a thank you to Peter. Peter Straub is a wonderful person. He is a wonderful writer, an acclaimed award-winning writer, and just a really generous, really good soul. And I really, really value his friendship. And again, Peter, thank you so much for sending me these pipes. I'm really excited, really looking forward to showing them to everybody, and for you, Peter, to be able to see me here enjoying these pipes. Let me just show you. I'm going to hold up this little stand that I have here. This pipe stand has 3 pipes upon it. And we're going to look at each of these pipes in turn. I'm going to tell you everything I can about each of them. Let me just hold each one up for you to see. The first is a Mark Tinsky pipe. He is an American pipe maker. You could say artisanal, produces small amounts of pipes every year. I've had my eye on Mark Tinsky pipes for a while, so it's really cool to be able to get a hold of one. We'll go into the shape and the nomenclature and everything about this pipe when we have a closer look. The second one is a Castello. You all know how much I love Castello pipes. This one, a beautiful sea rock briar with the, I think, Fume top, the darkened top here. A lovat shape, very, very cool. And the third is another Castello and another lovat shape. This one is the Castello series. The first completely smooth Castello pipe I've ever had. This one is gorgeous as well. I really want you to be able to see the grain on this pipe. It's really quite something, very striking. So 3 amazing pipes, and I'm so excited to have them. I've smoked each and every one of them several times, and I just want to tell you about each one in depth. So let's turn the camera around and take a closer look. All right, gang, here we go. I've tried to set up the tripod so I can still manipulate these pipes. I know I will bump the tripod at some point. Just be prepared for that. But let's go one by one. The first pipe I would like to show you is this one. Put these to the side. We have here a Mark Tinsky pipe. Now, Mark Tinsky has been making pipes for a while, I think even since the 90s. Someone can correct me on that, but maybe even the 80s. I'm not totally sure, but I've known about him ever since I've been into the pipe hobby. I've been interested in getting a Mark Tinsky pipe. I've always really loved his blasts. And this one is no exception. It has a really, really cool sandblast pattern here. I want to make sure I don't get too close to the camera. It won't focus. You can see the Mark Tinsky sort of star in a circle. That's his brand mark. Around this side of the bowl, you can see this really cool grain pattern here ringed around the edge of the bowl. This I would call sort of a calabash shape. I mean, obviously with the lip and sort of the dome top here, it looks like a calabash. The stem isn't quite as curved, doesn't quite carry out the same proportions that you would see from a traditional calabash, so sort of an interpretation of a calabash. This one has nomenclature. I don't know if I can get close enough to the camera for you to actually see, but basically on here it says Mark Tinsky Blast Christmas 2007. That's the nomenclature we have there. So we have a date. We know that it was a Christmas pipe from 2007, and I love this thing. You can see how it fits in the hand. It just feels really, really nice. I like that lip around the bowl, or the top of the bowl. Just feels really good in hand. It has a fairly narrow bowl compared to the size of the actual stummel. You can see there, so I'd say it's about a medium-sized bowl in width, fairly deep, smokes really, really well, really nice and cool and dry. And this is such a thick, bold pipe that it doesn't get hot very easily at all. And just the texture of the blast, it's just a pleasure. It's a fantastic pipe. I've really enjoyed smoking it. Just take a look at that. That's a beauty. Next, we have our Castello Sea Rock Lovat with a Fume top. So a Lovat is basically like a Canadian, where you have a very long shank in relation to the bowl, and a Canadian is basically sort of a billiard-shaped bowl or stummel, and then typically a Canadian has a much longer shank, kind of oval, but then this has a saddle bit, so that's why you would call that a Lovat. Those of you who have watched some of my videos will probably know that I really love Castello pipes, and I really love their Sea Rock Briar rustication here. You can see just a really nice example, sort of gnarly. Sea Rock is reminiscent of coral. I think that's what they meant when they named it Sea Rock, and it certainly has that sort of look, and just the feel of it in hand is very, very tactily pleasing. And I love that Fume top. Basically, it's a way of making it look as though it's been smoked out like crazy, where you have just this crazy darkening around the top of the rim, but that's the way it was made. Just a beautiful stain on this, beautiful carving. Kind of smaller bowl for a Castello. The nomenclature on this one, I don't know the exact date because they don't date their rusticated pipes, but I'm assuming it's a fairly recently made pipe. It says upon it, US Castello Old Sea Rock, has 4 Ks in a circle, and then made in Cantu, Italy, Kino in a circle. I don't know if any of that will come out on camera or not. Actually, I think it's upside down, isn't it? There we go. You may be able to see some of that on camera. I can't really get too much closer, I don't think. It's gonna stop focusing at a certain point. But it's just a beautiful pipe, obviously made for the US market because of the US mark that it has on there. The 4 Ks, now some people disagree with me, but I've done a lot of research on this, and throughout the years when I've been interested in Castello pipes, my understanding has always been that the K markings on a rusticated pipe like this indicate size, but then the K markings on a smooth pipe indicate the quality of the grain. That seems to be the consensus, even though a pipe like this, which is a quadruple K, does not seem huge to me compared to my quadruple K shape 55 that I have. So there could be some variability in that. It also might just be for a certain batch. They do it by the size relative to the rest of the pipes in that batch. But from what I've been able to glean, and most people seem to agree with me, Ks on rusticated pipes are for size. And this one is very light, very dense. It's just, every bit of Castello Briar I've ever had has just been super light, super dry smoking, and just fantastic. And this just feels as though it was carved from stone, but it weighs as much as a piece of balsa wood. It's just a fantastic pipe. Let me show you a little bit more of the rustication around the stem and around the bowl. It is fantastic, and this one smokes absolutely great. And I really like the saddle bit. I don't really have any Canadians in my rotation or Lovat shapes in my rotation, so this is kind of cool to have. And now I've got 2 because I have another Castello, which I'll be showing you soon. So yes, just another fantastic pipe. All of these were kind of lightly smoked. I reamed them all out, cleaned them up. I threw some polish on all of them. So I cleaned them up a bit, but they were already in really good shape. And last but not least is my Castello Lovat. So again, long shank, sort of billiard-shaped stummel, and then the saddle bit on the end. Another beautiful Castello. Let me show you some of the grain here. It'll show up well on camera without too much reflection. You have this really nice kind of tiger striping or flame, and then we've got bird's eye. If I can get it in camera so you can actually see, there's some bird's eye here, and some nice whirls and swirls and whirls around, some bird's eye on the heel of the bowl. Just a beautiful pipe. This one has nomenclature on this side, the bottom, and that side. Oh, and I forgot on the other Castello pipe, it does have a handmade Castello on the stem right there. This one does as well. This one has the Castello logo. I don't know if you can see that, but there's sort of the castle logo, and inside the castle are the numbers 7 and 0. So it's 70, and that basically indicates 70 years from the founding of Castello. And so that's how you date the pipe. Castello was founded in 1947, so this pipe was made in 2017. And then it has Castello and then Castello in quotation marks. So this is their, they have several lines of smooth pipes. There's Castello, there's Collection, and you go up in price. This is the one that, I mean, you could say that's their lowest range of smooth pipe, but it's beautiful. The grain is beautiful, but it has kind of a darker stain. It also has quadruple K in a circle. So for this series, this is a very finely grained pipe, which I think you could agree. Very similar in size to the other Canadian or Lovat that I have, maybe slightly smaller. And then on the other side, we have a little bit more. We have made in Cantu, Italy. And then on the bottom, we have Kino in a circle and US. I think it's upside down again. You may be able to make that out. So again, this was made for the US market. And then on the stem, we also have the handmade Castello, which I don't know if that's going to show up. It's very lightly stamped into the stem. But just another just amazingly smoking pipe. Again, super light, super dense. It just feels, I love Castello pipes so much. Their quality is fantastic. For a brand new factory made pipe, I mean, they're not even really factory made. There's so much hand finishing that goes into these pipes. I just don't think you can beat Castellos for their smoking characteristics and the price. They're just fantastic. And this Tinsky, my God, I'm really blown away by this. It really feels great in the hand. It smokes great. All of these pipes are fantastic, and I couldn't be happier. Of course, that happiness is tinged with a bit of sadness because Peter had to let these go. I'm just so appreciative that he sent them my way. They are really fantastic pipes. So there you go, my 3 newest pipe acquisitions. When Peter wrote to me and told me that he wanted to send me some of his pipes that he could no longer enjoy, I was not expecting them to be like this, to be this nice. It's really just so generous for you to have done that, Peter. Thank you so much. And I'm really sorry that you can't enjoy these anymore, but rest assured, I will be giving these a good home and I will be enjoying them for many, many years to come. My new Mark Tinsky and my 2 new Castello Lovat pipes. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, until we meet again, I've been a good friend Bradley, you've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.